streets don't love you back. Stay tuned every Wednesday at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8:30 Pacific, with your hosts, Boyd and Lucinda, for the hottest talk show in existence. The streets don't love you back. I gotta do right before they call me home.
Good evening, and welcome to the Streets Don't Love You Back radio show. I'm your host, Lucinda, with my co-host, Boyd, and our topic is, as always, the streets don't love you back. Join us every Wednesday night with real people, real stories, and real changes, as we hear the truth about gangs, drugs, violence, abuse, and other life issues. We have a great show for you tonight, so stay tuned in to the hottest radio show worldwide.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's your main man, Rob Boyd, checking in, and we got a great show today. We got our main man, Leon Benson, in the building. Let's give you a quick review. Leon started working with the Streets Don't Love You Back organization in 2011, when me and my wife used to send the newsletter into several prisons around the country. Leon grasped it to what we was doing. He started putting it in the Indiana prison, started sending a lot of educational material in there. And in 2015, when my wife created the Streets Don't Love You Back Lifeskills Intervention Program, Leon did the same thing that he always do. Introduced it to the inmates, and he started teaching the program. So without further ado, we're going to bring our main man, Leon, on the line.
Hey, I'm here, man.
Hey, what's up, my brother? How you feeling?
Hey, man, I'm feeling all right, man. Hey, I really appreciate you and Lucinda and all the listeners out there for having me on your show. It's a real blessing,
glad
man.
to have you, Leon, my man. So we're going to get right to it, Leon. How you been feeling in there, man? And tell the world about, how you got involved with our program in 2011 up to the day.
Well, first and foremost, the Streets Don't Love You Back foundation, organization, movement is an authentic thing. You know, back in 2011, I met Rob and Lucinda, and I like what they was doing. Rob is from Detroit. You know, I'm from Flint, Michigan. We own that Michigan thing, and he showed me all the things he was doing with helping the youth, helping the community. He showed me his past, that he was a former drug dealer who reversed his life around. He had a very inspiring story, and it really inspired me. So he introduced me to some of the things he was doing with the at-risk youth and with his Lifeskills course. So he presented it to me. I got the course. I done it. And I was like, Rob, it's an epidemic going on inside this prison. And the epidemic that was going on, it was a heroin epidemic where it was a lot of overdoses. And I was sitting in here, and I was seeing all this death and this mayhem. I mean, people were dying every other day. It was a real thing. I had to resuscitate 2 or 3 people. So I'm sitting and I'm thinking, what can I do? And Rob, you came to me, you told me those who are closest to the problems are the ones who are closest to the solutions. And when I got the Lifeskills course and I looked and I was like, man, I need to get this course to the people in here, because people in prison need it just as much as people in society, probably even more. When we think about the opiate epidemic that's plaguing America right now, you got to think the big pharmaceuticals, what they done with putting this drug in the households of many Americans, but it affected the prison too, because the prison is a microcosm of what's going on in society. So we see this thing. So our first attempt, the prison didn't let us do it. I don't know what was going on. I was like, man, we sent everything, we done everything we were supposed to do, but they wouldn't let them get through. And it was very disappointing. So, I continued, my walk. growing and developing as a human being, seeing the things I needed to do to be a part of the solution without compromise, and be for the people, be the voice for the people. So opportunities came. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. For those of you out there that don't know what a Hebrew Israelite is, a Hebrew Israelite are the real people in the book, the Bible, and I represent that. And I got a community down here. We've been doing outreach. You know, one of the things about being a Hebrew Israelite is being a solution for your community. It's commune. That's what Yahweh wanted us to do. That's what our brother Yahshua, or what people know as Jesus, done. He went out and he ministered with the people. He ministered with the drug dealers, with the killers, with all these people, the has-nots. So I was here in this particular situation, and I seen an opportunity through my community. So we put on a study course for all faiths and all peoples in the facility. And this occurred in 2017. It took us a while to get it, but we finally got it. This was the biggest turnout study class in the history of Pendleton. Everybody was there. The administration was like, it's something phenomenal going on in this class, because you got people from Moore Science Temple of America. You had Sunni Muslims. You had Christians. You had our Jew brothers. You had people from Wicca, Native Americans. You had people that was just straight thugs, you know, and everybody was there and they was learning. And this was the perfect opportunity to introduce them to the Streets Don't Love You Back Life Skills and Intervention course. So I immediately got with Rob, and we got the courses to people, and it was very inspiring, you know, the feedback that we got. And I'm going to be truthful, and I'm not saying this to put on for my big bro or put on for the listeners out there, because if anybody know me, they know that I'm authentic and I'm real. That's what I'm about. We only got one life to live. Ain't no time to be faking and fronting, but we got to be real and embrace real things and embrace real people. Because guess what? I don't need no flowers at my funeral. I need them right now. And you need flowers out there too. So that's what I'm on with giving real flowers. And what I'm saying with that is this course really impacted a lot of brothers in my community and throughout the facility. It was instantly when this course came into this facility, the overdose rate, it declined because we became the solution. The brothers that took this course all the way from the top to the bottom, it made a change throughout this facility. Brothers was coming up to us after taking the course, still, you know, asking questions, seeking mentorship, asking more questions about the Streets Don't Love You Back. At first, it was I'm going to be real. We used the fact that a certificate was involved with it. But everybody out there who's lived long enough, that got the wisdom, understand that it's never the destination. It's all about the journey. And when we sat down to teach the class, our study class is set up with reciprocal teaching, meaning that we allow everybody to have input, to have questions, to read along with us. We ain't there, you know, just throwing information down your throat, being intellectual dictators. We were doing nothing like that. The class was ran by a fellow Israelite of mine named David Newsom, Obadiah, Israel, and myself. We started the course with, in Chapter 1, Chapter 1 is substance abuse, dependency, and making decisions. We started out with that, and Rob and Lucinda, y'all really did a good job with highlighting the causes of where these drugs are coming from. And one of the things in that chapter that really hit home was why some people end up abusing drugs and why others do not. And you spoke about all the subliminal messages that's coming from advertisement to young people and especially to developing countries, you know. And when we think about that, we think about the Oxycontin. That's one thing that came up in the discussions in the study, the Oxycontins, that pharmaceutical company that really got all of America sprung out. And we talked about them. America, the FDA, they banned them. They banned them out of America. But guess who they are prying on? They are being parasitical to developing countries, to third world countries. And I thought that was ironic because here recently we was going over a course with a brother because we started a new rotation with some new guys taking the course. And one of the guys was like, man, our so-called president, Donald Trump, he's talking about them shithole countries. But those the same countries that these big corporations going to, feeding them drugs, feeding them guns, feeding them militias, anything they need to destroy the people just for economical gain. But what's ironic about that, it's happening here too in America. It's happening throughout the communities. It's happening in the prisons. So what we got out of that part was the real drug of choice of a lot of people in power in America, and that's money. Money by any means necessary. We'll do anything for money. We'll jeopardize our future. We'll jeopardize future generations. We'll jeopardize the integrity of a people. We've seen it in Flint, Michigan with the lead water. The same thing, greed for money. So I try to point these things out when they come up to the brothers that's here about the bigger picture of the addictions in society that reflect upon them, and they really empathize with it. One of the things, the vulnerability part that was in Chapter 1 was really big with me and with most of the guys, where out in society, you know, it's a lot of people that use drugs. They lack family role models. They are in poor economical situations, victims of abuse. But when you think about the prison culture, this subculture of America is even worse. It's at the bottom of the totem pole. Because in prison, people are affected by all these negative effects times 1,000. Where you got people in here, they stressing because of their long sentences. You got people that stressing from family members, stressing from not having the lifestyle they used to have, not to mention solitary. They worry about their loved ones when death come to these people, to us in here, me included. It's a stressful thing. Appeal denials. This really make this class of people in America very vulnerable to using drugs. So whenever they come through, people, they use them. It's a real thing here, and we confronting these brothers. But when they came to the class and they hear us speaking truth to power to them, they ain't hearing it from no administration. They ain't hearing it from somebody that don't care about them. They know what we saying is real. They know that we used to be the dealers. They know that we were the head busters. It's still a bust your head if you get out of line on that bull crap. You hear me? So it was really big presenting them with this course, starting off with this problem. And I think Lucinda, how y'all designed it, like starting with the drug problem, and then you shift your course into decision making. So we started with the problem, but what I liked about the course, it bagged out of the problem and started going towards a solution after we identified the problem, because we see that the drug use and things that people do, we know that that's just the fruit from the root problems, and we start going into the root problems like decision making and things like that, and it was very big. One of the things that I liked about the course that a lot of the brothers here really enjoyed was the decision making worksheet that y'all provided in there. And once they were able to write down their decision making process, we seen like a lot of cognitive glitches and how people were thinking and how they was perceiving things. And we tried to pan that out the best way we can with the time we had and the space we had. One thing about our class in here that's different probably from the ones that you held, Rob, in society is we get to come back into this community and live with each other. So it's like, right now I'm in a cell house, and I'm in here with a lot of the brothers that went through the course, and we talk. I get to see them. I can see their body language. I can tell if they being used or something. And, to each his own. I always say that to each his own. But as a brother, I step to him. Hey, look, man, that ain't what's real. You need to get yourself together, man. You got your people out there. This is a big chance, in your life. It don't seem like it, but we do understand that being in prison affords us a lot of time to think, to reflect. But you have to be disciplined. But you have to be disciplined anywhere. But I feel like the pressures of living aren't as demanding as they are in society. But it's just different. It's a different level of stresses, like I conveyed earlier, that exist here. But we shared with the brothers how to take advantage of their time, through these courses. One of the things in the course is segue to releasing your anger through the decision-making process. There's a lot of anger in here, and we try to show the brothers, how to cope with the anger. And in the course, what was really stood out, Rob, was the anger, the emotions, the mistrust. There's a lot of brothers in here with mistrust. And one of the things that came up was this contradiction. It's a contradictory thought where you have a lot of people in here who live in prison with each other for 10, 15 years, 20 years, but they'll say, hey, man, you don't know me. I'm finna go home and get out and go to my people. I'm like, what you mean I don't know you, man? I seen you for 10, 15 years. I know you better than them. So we knew that it's a lot of trust issues. So it was a problem with brotherhood in here. In this course, on the anger management side of the course, it was showing the brothers how to trust each other, how to follow your anger, how to change that attitude. And it was really incredible with some of the testimonies that we got. We even had a couple brothers, break down. A couple brothers came to me like, LB, man, hey, look, man, it's real, man. I need to make a change. But the way the course is set up, it's in the perfect process. I don't know where y'all went to really design this thing, but it's really in sync in a good process. And you went all the way through with to the conflict resolution, which was very good about creative thinking, how to take breaks, finding things to agree upon. And we were showing these brothers how to really deal with each other, how to deal with themselves through the course.
Right. And with that being said, Leon, I'm going to bring my wife on, and she's going to break all that down with you. My wife created the whole program, and she put that in play, And like I said, we really appreciate you when I sent it to you in 2015, and you started moving forward, but then they started trying to stop it from coming in, but then you kept moving forward and make it all happen. So I'm bringing my wife on right now, Leon.
We are so happy to be working with you on this project, and so happy that it's helping men and women behind the bars in those walls to gain some self-strength and inner peace, and learn how to change their life so when they come home, they're able to cope and to be successful citizens out here.
Yeah. I really think, with the course, if you can get this course in more prisons and have prisoners give the course to other prisoners, because how the course set up and what you're doing, it's to be the solution. And not only in here, see, how I look at it, Lucinda, is And what's been proven historically is when you become the solution. Be the solution for your community anywhere you be at. We not waiting on nobody. I'm not, hey, look, I love y'all and what y'all doing, but guess what? If Leon do not want to help himself, I'm no use to y'all trying to help me. But sending the course there and letting us do it and help ourselves, it built confidence in me. It built leadership skills in me. It made me a better communicator with the people around me. And these people will come back to the community. Over 95% of people incarcerated will return back to society. So this course placed in strategic places, it'll really make a powerful impact.
Exactly. And that's the thing, exactly what you said. You have to be the change, and you have to want to make those changes. But by being with a group of people in your own community that understands exactly where you're at and what you're going through, you can talk through situations. You can, learn from each other, and draw on each other's strengths, and figure out your weaknesses and learn how to overcome them, and all those different things. So I think, the groups that you have, I think it's powerful.
Oh man, it's very powerful. It's inspiring. It's spiritual. It's conducive holistically to humanity. To really building and really creating, a better world. For us in our Hebrew Israelite community, when we was doing the course, we was framing it with scripture too. We was letting the guys know, hey, you got to be one with the Most High, because one of the things about being an Israelite is going out to the people. The Israelites are not people who are separatists. We are not people who down you for your beliefs, but we are a people that will bring the truth to you. That's what Yahweh wanted us to do. But in order for you to bring the truth, guess what? You got to be the truth. So we were showing the brothers through your course how to be the truth within themselves. And when they develop that truth within themselves, they can take it out to the community in the prison, share it with their families, and bring it out to the world,
Right. Well, we met you years ago. We were on a radio show years ago, and we've had the Streets Don't Love You Back. But I knew that we needed a class. We needed something to actually teach. We needed a curriculum, and so I prayed about it, and it took me a long time to finally sit down. But once I sat down, everything in this book is what came to me. And I just put it together as I thought, the things that were important in life, the things that I thought that would be helpful to other people. To, first of all, we have to believe in ourselves. We have to believe that we can achieve something. We have to believe that we're good enough. We have to believe that we can overcome. We have to believe that we're smart enough and that we're good enough and that we deserve it. And we have to believe all those things, and that's the hardest part. That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Then once we understand that we deserve it, that we're good enough, that we're somebody, then everything else will fall into place. But
hey, you exactly right.
Yeah. The things that we've done in our past, of forgiveness, the shame, those are the hardest things to get past, to forgive ourselves. It's easy to forgive others, but to forgive ourselves for doing it or allowing things to happen to us or whatever it is. That's some of the hardest things, is to forgive ourselves, to believe in ourselves.
Hey, you're right. You're right about that. And speaking personally to that, that's a big thing. To go through this situation for many years that I've been through, one of the biggest things that I can do was to forgive others, but also to forgive myself. Redemption, it comes, we can say, hey, I forgive, hey, forgive me, hey, I'm redeemed, but I'm here to tell everybody out there what redemption is for me. And it could apply to you, it might not, but I'm just telling you my walk. Redemption is an integrity of you doing the work. You know what you do when nobody not looking. That's the big thing. That's where redemption comes from. You know, you building and you connecting to the Most High and you building. And one of the biggest things to overcome some of them things of the past is to acknowledge them, but also to make an effort to reach out to people to say, hey, I'm sorry. Could you forgive me? You know, hey, and a lot of times it'd be hard to do that because, especially in this climate of social media, I was listening to the news the other day, and somebody on the news was talking about how negative social media can be, where people would just dog you out when you reveal your truths to them, and because of that, it make people shell themselves in. But I tell all of you guys out there in the world, you know, be the message that you bring, you know, with yourself. You know, when you look in the mirror, if you can't accept that person in the mirror, you know, something wrong. Like I said earlier, if you can't be a blessing in your own skin, wherever you at, you will be a blessing. Nowhere. It starts with you. It's within. The kingdom of heaven is within, but you got to manifest it through the actions that you do. We don't live in the times. We live in the actions and the deeds that we do in life.
That's right. You know, it's nice to hear the feedback from you. And your prison, I think, maybe between yours and the one in Detroit, but I think we've had 88 or 89 men totally from your prison that have graduated in the last 2 years from this program, and it's amazing. And I love to get the tests back and hear the comments and what they learned about it. And you know, it's just for me to have the opportunity to be able to help people change their thought pattern or change their life and make a difference. It's overwhelming. So I appreciate
you done that.
Coming on and giving us the feedback that you are.
Y'all done that. Y'all planted the seeds. Y'all planted the seeds. Y'all put forth the effort. Y'all planted the seeds. You gave it to me. You know, I done the work that I can do. And that's the thing that's most important. A lot of times we don't think we can make an impact with the little tools that we have. But when we think about it, about the process of things, you know, what you sow, what you reap, it's all about planting the seed. It's all about that seed. It ain't necessarily the fruit. It's the seed.
Amen.
And that's what you guys planted.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah,
it may not grow today or tomorrow.
Work with us, Leon.
Oh, I appreciate it, man.
You know,
I want to do.
Go ahead, Leon.
I want to do some more with the project because here at the facility, hey, I've been involved in so much stuff. I guess you can call it the Joseph effect, like from the script, man. I'm for real.
You have 1 minute remaining.